What's up guys, Selfless here. In this video I really wanted to go over something that is critical and crucial in creating the dubs in Rainbow Six Siege. Callouts creates wins, and communication and calming is quintessential to playing this game effectively. Here's the problem. Everyone wants callouts for themselves, but everyone's lazy when they die. They don't get on drones, they tab out. It's not about them. We have such big egos that we chase kills, we chase frags, and that's how we treat this game. But really, when you boil it down, the team that wins is a team that has the greatest patience, that doesn't peek everything. When you have really good aim and you've developed that aim, it really comes down to that, patience and communication. I'm only a Plat 2 player, a few games away from Plat 1. Even the diamonds that I play with and the Plat 1 players that I play with, most of them ineffectively communicate. They rely too much on individual gameplay. And at the end of the day, they're incredibly bad teammates. At the lower elos, silver, copper, you're going to have a lot of toxic behavior, a huge toxic environment where people aren't taking the game seriously. They're running out left and right. They're picking ops simply based upon their fragging ability or what they want selfishly as an individual player. This happens at all levels of gameplay, don't worry. The environment is incredibly toxic, and then when you communicate, when you calm, you have other people who will calm back and try to knock you down a peg or belittle you or just make fun of you for talking. And so it creates this environment where it feels unsafe to talk. And that's the unfortunate part of any online gaming community. But you have to realize that these people are they're looking for a reaction. Maybe they have other things going on in their lives. Just don't take it personal. Really work on just being a good teammate. Don't let them tilt you. Just keep giving the callouts, and if they're being truly toxic, mute them and just simply give the callouts like you were without the toxic behavior around. Don't let it influence your gaming. A really unpopular thing is trying. You're called to try hard, or you're sweating. You don't want to sweat too much or get called out for it. Listen, all this stuff to me as a 33-year-old is just plain ignorance, because you want to be conscious and you want to try at everything that you do. You want to do everything to your maximum ability. You want to be conscious when you're playing. You want to effectively grow. You want to understand that you have a growth mindset. Your mind, your brain is malleable. When you are conscious about everything that you're doing, if you die, you don't blame the game. You don't blame why the person was there. You don't blame your teammate. You literally look at it and you go, what happened here and how can I take personal responsibility? This is a huge way to make everything about your gameplay better, and you will grow and you will develop. If you're at a plateau, this simple mindset will create a whole new level of gameplay. And this takes me directly to my next point. The game is not about you. The game is not about how many frags you get. I have a pretty good KD. But my chief aim isn't to get frags, it's to get W's and have a cooperative environment amongst teammates. This game becomes so much more fun when you have the synergy amongst friends or a group of comrades. It becomes so much more enriching when you're dead in the game and you have 2 minutes left in the round. If you can create the same mindset of going in and entry fragging and doing an ash rush and having the same desire to get the kills as you do getting the intel to your teammates and seeing them succeed, they will in return give you that same intel because they want to help you the way you help them. Now, not everyone's going to see this. You have to have tools or demonstrations to help people grow and evolve as players. Like I said, even at the diamond or even at the champion level, there's really bad teammates. Beyond just simple calming, there's an unbelievable disconnect between knowing what each of your players or teammates are doing. Most stacks run very individually, and everyone's doing their own little thing. You might have two people or 3 people with a general idea. But once you get into the game, you end up zoning in so much that you can't really move forward with cohesion. And there's a way to getting out of this. There's a way of really working cohesively together and creating more W's, because at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about? The problem is most people don't treat rank like that. Most people just want to show off. They want to showboat. That's what they care about. If you had a basketball player who was only concerned about getting 40 points a game, there's probably a way he could do it if he was skilled enough, yes. But it would not create the right circumstances to win, because what happens if you foul out? What happens if you die every round? You have to find an ability to work collectively with other teammates. If you meet a stack that has below average aim, but they are incredibly synergized, even the best champion stack will lose, because they are more coordinated together and they can't beat it. Those champion stacks will turn around and say, oh, these people are sweating, they're droning out like it's pro league. Whatever they need to tell themselves of why they lost, because they're being lazy. They're just doing their own thing. They're zoned out. Well, that's good for them, but they're still losing. So there is a space for this that can create some really great synergistic gameplay, and believe me, when you let go of yourself and what you're trying to accomplish individually and you play more collectively as a team, this idea is not ingrained even in our culture or the world culture. It's, how far can I get? It's all about me, me, me. It's about my accomplishment, my accolades, my successes. It goes really counterproductive to how we're conditioned. But in the end, when you treat the game like this, you end up getting rewarded yourself. By being such an effective teammate, not only do you grow in ranks, you also get more, it seems, kills. It just naturally comes to you. If you can look at the game as it's me that got the kill, look at it as like the moving pieces. And you're just part of one of the moving pieces. And by being in the right place at the right time, it could be you or another teammate that gets that kill. At the end of the day, it's going to be 50-50. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes you get it. But the operation was together, and you guys got it together. The numbers are fun to look at. Of course, when I top frag or I have 20 kills in a game, yeah, I feel like a badass. But I know that it wasn't because of me and my gameplay. It was because I had a coordinated team that got me there. As a very successful basketball player in high school, I was a first-team all-state athlete. There's only 5 in the whole state, and I was one of those 5. And the only reason I averaged 20.5 points per game was because I had really great teammates. So a couple ground rules. When you are in Discord together with a stack, let's say it's a 4 stack or a 3 stack, but you're not quite filled out to a 5 stack, and you have some randos. First off, don't get into the game and say, hey, you got a mic? Because it comes off rude, it comes off arrogant. Remember, people are people, man. I don't care if we have the internet where we can be distant and we can be more vulgar and rude, and we need to be more compassionate and have more kindness. This is something that is growing in every part of the world, kindness. It's something that is actually becoming cool. And it may not be part of the gaming community yet, because most of us in this community are much younger and we don't realize the implications of being so toxic. But it is a cool feature. It is a cool factor. So when you're in Discord together and you have some randoms, give them the same respect as you would give the teammates in your Discord. If you have to mute your teammates in game, get used to being able to talk in game. Give your teammates those callouts. When you see someone trying to clutch, man, pretend that is you. Pretend that the roles are reversed and you are effectively being what they need right now, which is the communication. There is such a thing as clogging the comms. Sometimes people need silence, and you often need to have a full mute or deafen button. This deafens the complete speaking of your Discord or whatnot. But in addition to that, sometimes people are talking in game and you need silence. There's nothing wrong with saying quiet, quiet, quiet. Just make people understand that you need to hear right in that moment. There's also a thing where you might be blabbering too much and your callouts are just a little too long. Saying Buck is in piano is a really effective call out. If you want to be more specific, Buck southeast corner piano. Cardinal Directions are quintessential in this game, and honestly, So many people don't do it. It's bizarre to me. Even at the champion level, I hear people say, on your left, on your left, on your right, on your right. That doesn't give most players the confidence that you're talking about their left or their right. They don't know if you're spectating them or if you're on a camera. And so that moment of hesitation to going, is it my left or his left, could be the moment's hesitation that gets you killed. Cardinal directions also cannot get lost. It's always great to know what is true north in each map. So that way when someone says southeast corner, you don't have to look at your compass. Eventually, you'll do this very often, but eventually you won't have to. Cardinal directions are super strong. And if anyone gives me callouts, I want cardinal directions. That's north, south, west, east, if you're not fully understanding. Also, you don't want to elongate. Hey, Buck is yellow stairs. Just effectively yellow stairs. Buck, yellow stairs. If they want something more specific, they may say middle landing, top of yellow, bottom of yellow, top. And just keep it simple so that you keep the comms open so that the player can hear. Being able to minimize your speech in the callouts, but being super specific makes you a pro at calling out. I hope this video has really helped maybe clarify what communication should be like in Rainbow Six Siege. Remember, you can't have high expectations on your randoms. You can't be toxic with them because they're not abiding by your expectations. The best thing you can do is just not to expect too much from the randoms, but to give your all to them, regardless of how poor teammates they are. If you like this video and it's been extremely helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could share to the Rainbow Six community in your own various way, through social media, through Reddit, or other avenues. Also, if there's any videos that you want created specifically on, say, toxic behavior, or how to get better at aiming, or how to gain better map knowledge, or how to get better at a very certain part of the game, send me a message. I'd be happy to try to help you out as best I can and make a tutorial video just like this one. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this, and I hope you have many great ranked games in Rainbow Six Siege.